Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and welcome to another episode of Disc-Heads, an amateur disc golf podcast here, based in the Midlands. It's so good to be back. This is episode 12, Parklife. That's right, a little bit of Blur, a little bit of Love. Yeah, we're at 12 already. It's impressive. I didn't think we'll make it past 10.
No, because
Richard came for 10.
The absolute mess up intro, which you're doing again.
Which you're doing again. Is this becoming a thing now?
Well, we don't have an intro.
We don't have an intro now, it's just kind of all business.
Tries and then we just
So yeah, guys, welcome to another podcast. As you can tell, we've got a full cast again. Sitting opposite me is my good friend Ben. How you doing, Ben?
I'm good, you?
I am great. I'm excited for this episode. I'm excited for our main topic as well. I'm loving this. I feel like this podcast is going to be very, very either controversial or it's going to be like very opinionated, which I'm really, really excited about.
Found our feet, boys.
We have. We absolutely love it. And then the man, the myth, the legend, the man behind this podcast, Dan. How you doing, Dan?
Yeah, good. Cheers. Lee, yourself?
I am good. And I'm not going to repeat myself because I just told Ben what I feel about this podcast. I'm super excited. So I'm going to hand it over to you, mate. What are we doing on this episode today?
So we're going to be talking about course layout. We're getting to what I mean by that when we talk about it. We're going to be talking about dish shapes.
Dick shapes.
Yeah.
Dick shapes. And it's already begun. I love it.
And we're also going to be talking about the most beneficial thing that you've done that has improved your game.
Yeah.
But firstly, new courses. So, prepping for this week's cast, I did my usual, typed in disc golf news, just in case anything exciting or interesting had popped up. And around the UK, there's actually been a couple of courses pop up.
Oh, okay.
Hemel Hempstead and someplace in Norwich that I've forgotten. But it's in Norwich.
But it's in Norwich.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And I just like the... No.
No.
Hemel Hempstead ain't that far.
Oh, yeah, but...
But.
No, we're all waiting for this but.
But, no, well, it's not coming. I'm just leaving it. I'm just leaving it at that.
I was going to say, you're going to let it linger.
Yeah, just leaving it. Think of that what you will.
Love that.
I want to know your history in Hemel Hempstead now. Now, what have you done there?
It's got a heavy rep.
Yeah, wow.
So 2 new courses you found?
Yeah, so that's 2 new courses, but there was obviously we know that in Bristol, the course we went and played the tournament, they're expanding. They're having 9 more holes put in. So
Oh, really?
What they put in temporary basket wise is going to be permanent.
Is that going to be the full course?
That's going to be a full course.
Fair.
Wow, fair.
I mean, you've got the best opinion on that, but because we didn't actually see it.
I saw that other disc golf course in there. I saw that I saw the major like all in woods. Like it was like a small one out in the middle of like the park. When I arrived at that park, this is just drifting hilariously off topic. It was like Jurassic Park. It was like I went to the car park and then immediately it was like woods, and then it was literally just land everywhere as well. So it just kept going and going. But then obviously when I met up with you guys, and it was like
big.
It's like it felt like you were in the Jurassic Park compound. How massive the whole park was.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like beautiful. So I was like, oh, shame we didn't play, but also at the same time, love to go back there again.
But I just like the fact that it's not just us that are enjoying it, and it's not just the people that we see online when we're on the Reddit forums or YouTube and the rest of it.
It's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah, it is. I feel like we said ages ago, like it seems quite niche, but it's actually becoming a little bit less niche now, I feel.
I went to a little place in Loughborough. What's the hill called? Beacon Hill?
Beacon Hill.
Beacon Hill. And walking alongside that,
It's not in Loughborough, but it's
it's
in the area.
close enough.
Fair.
And if you're going around Beacon Hill, like around the outskirts, is like quite loose foresty.
Okay.
And you're like, you could definitely do a course in it.
Yeah, it'd be badass.
And I actually said to Leanne, like, I would love to have the job of going around to country parks and going, this is why you need a disc golf course.
I feel like you're a visionary, Dan. Everywhere you go, you seem to go like, we could fit a course here. We could do a course there. You could do it like there should be like a like a thing of like goal. Like obviously in the States there are people who design courses. Like they do design courses and they make a living out of designing courses. You just seem to be that visionary. It's like this could be a really nice place for a course. Like just casually, just drop it in now and then.
I can't drive down. If there's a traffic jam on the motorway, I'll see some cows in the field and I'm like, get out of that field.
I found something.
Okay,
Oh.
is this a digression?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a disc.
okay.
It's a 1, 7, minus 1, 0
So it's similar.
latitude disc.
So it's similar to the glitch because the glitch is a
Okay.
1-7.
That nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Send me a link for that.
Send the link. There we go. All right. Back on topic. We love it. Like literally, this is what
Just
happens.
for some history, Dan's been hunting for a low
Glitch.
speed, high glee.
Yeah, he's going
high
for
glide.
effectively wanted a glitch, but there's nowhere that sells glitches.
Not
In the UK.
And I
At
just
least.
wanted to show him some latitude discs that had come on, and then I found one that
There you go.
I'd not noticed before.
Yeah, so a few episodes back, we also said, to hilariously digress what we're talking about, we all said we weren't going to really try and keep an open bag, but we've all kind of lent towards one company now, and we're all kind of like doing our own thing.
Interestingly,
It's true, though.
Oh, I could
Interestingly,
definitely get
when
one
I was
of these.
putting my discs up, so I've put on myself like a new display at home.
Okay, yeah, you did, yeah.
And the other day I was reorganising them, and actually after losing the diamond, I am.
You lost the diamond?
Oh, you did not know that as well?
Shh, sorry. We are really digressing. We've gone, I can definitely say, over the last 2 weeks, we've all lost discs from our bags.
I've not.
I've lost a
You
diamond.
haven't, but
No,
Dan and me are on a bit of a losing spree right now.
I was the original disc loser,
Yeah.
and I've stopped losing discs, and you guys have just
We've inherited it from you.
started.
Hanging out with
apart
you.
from the one I threw in the water, which I knew was a danger,
Yeah.
I hadn't actually lost a disc until this
Yeah,
week.
we've.
And in 7 days I lost 2. The diamond. I lost a diamond at Sherwood.
That's sad. Oh, that's really sad. I did like the diamond. You were
Yeah.
throwing that well as well. That's sad.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, back to what we're talking. What were you just quickly before we go? Because we were just.
They're also really low weight,
Oh, okay. Like
so like leopard weight.
really, the ace.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
How
dangerous.
much?
Here we go.
15 quid.
14, 15
I
British
might be getting
pounds.
one. And
I
for
love
that-
this. If you get it now, it will be ready before our lovely little spree of videos that we'll be shooting, hopefully on Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
Because I tried to buy some discs, but unfortunately they were out of stock.
Yeah, but I just don't know because.
Well, let's have a look
Anyway,
later.
anyway,
Let's have a look
Back
later.
on topic. I love it.
Anyway.
Yeah, lots of disc golf courses popping up all over England and Britain.
That's really exciting though. At the same
and
time,
I'm excited to see more.
yes, 100%. We love it.
So, disc shape.
Disc shape.
And the reason I picked this week is because both me and Ben own big discs.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yes,
part
we
of-
do.
Part of the big disc club. We like to go out on a regular
Big
basis.
disc energy.
Big disc energy.
You own the Condor.
Yep.
I own the Zephyr,
And I love my Condor.
and I love my Zephyr.
At the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. But we compared them this week, didn't we? Like side by side, and if you don't know, these discs are
Huge. They're like
Like dinner
pizza.
plates.
They are dinner plates is the best way of describing it.
Bid lids.
Big lids.
and I instantly presumed when I brought the Zephyr, because you brought a Condor
Yeah.
ages ago, and I brought a Zephyr quite recently. And when I brought the Zephyr, even though it looked in the picture to be quite bulky,
It is.
I thought that when I actually got it in my hand, it'd be more like the Condor, and it just looked bulky because it was big. If that
Mhm.
makes
You
sense.
thought it'd be as light as the Condor.
Well, not so much as light as the Condor, because I knew which weight I was going for. But
Yeah,
I thought
Because
it'd
obviously
be,
I went light.
Yeah, but I thought it would still have like, because you've got a rib on the bottom. Like a
Yeah.
Yeah, his
Like
has got a
yeah.
bead and yours doesn't.
Yours is
Yours
just like
a
yours is-
polecat.
you could
Effectively, his
genuinely
rim's more
use
like a
yours as
polecat.
bid lid. Like,
You could. Yeah, a cereal bowl, effectively.
Yeah.
It's like a giant polecat. When I looked at Dan's like how it is like a big polecat. Yeah. But I love it because I'm eventually going to get a big disc and we are going to film the hilarious deployment round, which I'm excited to play. Because you guys are having way too much fun doing that, and I'm just like, I want to be a part of the club.
And put your polecat in it.
What? Just double patty it.
But obviously, I'm not an engineer, and I couldn't tell you what the difference is between rib discs and non-rib discs.
Ribbed for a pleasure.
Yeah.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
So the banger, for example.
Right.
What a beast.
And it's got that like crevice in for your thumb.
Yeah.
Your thumb crevice.
Your thumb crevice.
I've decided what buzz I want, by the way.
America?
GT buzz. It's
Yeah.
got a thumb
Nice.
slide in it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
A banger buzz.
This is what happens. If you're listening to this podcast for the first time, we start a topic and then we get distracted. I absolutely love it.
Thumb tracks.
I love it.
But yeah, so the thumb track, in my opinion, actually aids the banger to be a good putter.
100%.
I think it aids in the grip.
Yes.
I'm a fan. After this week, I'm a fan.
Oh yeah, you were draining from
Draining the
distance.
banger
Like
this
it was
week, yeah.
good.
But does it make any difference on the fly?
No.
So you could take a 10 Avenger, for example,
Right.
and then you can take a Speed and
What?
the Construct.
Okay. Yeah.
Very different shaped discs.
Yes.
Very similar in flight paths.
Mm-hmm.
So is it all down to grip and comfort?
I think it is because if you look at it from like, because obviously we're amateurs. I think it is because obviously you look at So to this I'm gonna bring up. So you have Polecat and the Maestro. They basically don't have a bead. They're pretty much like solid around the edge a little bit. It's kind of like the Sensei, solid around the thing. You look at the GT because we've all got a banger GT.
Turn it up.
That was interesting.
Turn it up.
That's got a bead at the bottom, and when you hold that, you've got a little bit of like grip on it. And some people like having a bead at the bottom because you can put your fingers, get comfortable with it, and you feel like that. I don't mind that, but because I obviously have the Sensei, I don't mind having beaded because a lot of my
Go either way.
yeah, because my S-line plastic or skid mark plastic, as we like to call it, that has a tendency to have a lot of bead and not bead at the same time. So I think it is down to personal preference.
If you look at your bigger discs,
Just C-line plastic is a lot like the Discraft discs, though, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh, 100%
It's
it
got
is.
the imprint on the inside. You know what I mean.
yeah. If we look at our discs that are around Speed 6, 7,
They're
Yeah.
all going to have a similar shape, though, because that's what the edge is, isn't
I've
it?
got like
Yeah.
a 7 Glory, for example. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's quite a thin UFO shaped
Yeah.
disc.
100%.
But my better, I do like them both. They're both for different purposes. But a Sting, which is very flat, very
Yep.
much like the Archer.
Yeah.
And then you look at what the Buzz is as well. The Buzz is a bit of a chunky thing as well.
Yeah.
And yet, because
It's
all of them are
related to
different.
the speeds, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you could buy. What I'm trying to say is like the Avenger is very similar to how the Buzz feels.
But
Hand-wise,
it's a
yeah.
bit
That's
speedy, though.
But I think that also falls on disc make, because the discs you've just named, the Archer, the Avenger, and the Zombie,
All
they're
Discraft.
all Discraft discs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course. But the Avenger and the Construct have very similar flight numbers,
Mm.
Yeah.
but they're very different shaped discs. So this is what I'm
Because
saying. It must be.
The flight numbers aren't
I think.
like a unified thing, are they? So
Yeah.
Ace, like not Ace, Innova numbers aren't the same as latitude numbers.
Yeah, all
even though
companies.
they're supposed to be.
Yeah, all companies have their number system, which we've all now just gone.
Which they're
Numbers
supposed to be,
don't
they're supposed
really
to be
mean
the same,
anything.
but
Yeah,
they're not.
which after covering on our cast, I decided I don't give a shit about numbers.
Yeah, I wouldn't take numbers at all.
Don't care about numbers.
Like, because to be
Speed
honest,
is the only number. I
what's the
give a
new
shit
what's the
about.
new thought space disc that you have? What's the called?
Construct.
The Construct and the River feel similar, but yet when you've thrown it exactly like the River, and it's
Yeah.
gone hella further.
Yeah.
Like that thing, it just flies. I think numbers do not mean
That
anything.
could be all
But
kinds of
the
things.
River's
though.
Speed 7,
Yeah.
Construct Speed 10.
Plastic.
Oh, it's I thought they were around the same number.
They're not.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. You bought a big boy disc then.
Yeah, because
Holy shit.
is where I'm ripping it.
Okay, and that's where your cap is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think I could push to 11,
Okay.
but when I'm pushing to 11, I'm feeling pain in my shoulder.
I don't think I can.
While I'll
Fair.
play, I'll play through the pain if I'm going to be world champion. But when
But-
I'm playing against you three arseholes, like...
You want to just cap off.
yeah,
Okay.
I'd rather
Fair.
not go home and put an ice pack on me. Like, I'm good.
Fair.
I throw a speed 10 disc, but I don't throw it at speed 10, and I don't need to.
Because I'm
So-
feeling we've all got different caps. I'm speed 12. You're speed 10. What are you doing now? Because
7.
you're doing 7s. Rich is
Maybe
what?
8.
Rich is 13 or 14? Because
Yeah.
obviously he's got the crank and the like.
Crank?
I want to say that
Crank's big, yeah.
cranks. He's got big boy discs.
Mine highest is currently, I'd say probably 9.
Yeah. But the
I'm
funniest thing
looking
is,
at-
it's
I'm
like we're
looking
all
at 8 9s at the weekend. That's what I'm looking at.
nice. Well, due to disc loss, I need to change things until I repurchase discs because I need to have utility disc in my bag and I need to just go back to basics on certain things, which I did kind of last Sunday. So, but it's funny though. At the same time, it's kind of like This feels like we're going into the same topic. When you're looking at holes, you got to just, if you don't have that disc, you have to reassess things. But no,
It's a big topic though.
Yeah,
It is
and
massive.
losing the count. Right,
Yeah.
It's
so
going to be mega.
it is because
scrambling, rambling man over here has lost
it
his.
was my
Lost his tool.
He's lost the
it
tool.
was my scrambling disc, but I was also bringing it out for the little cheeky forehands.
Yeah,
And it's good for that. I
Yeah.
love the count for that, and I've not got one.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's
Every
gonna.
time I throw the count, it's for a cheeky little forehand.
Mm.
But I put the Toro in that.
Yeah.
spot now.
But that's very good though. I
love
think
the
they're good.
Toro
The
for a
Toro is a
cheeky
very
forehand.
good disc. Yeah.
but yeah, again, the counts are very. I suppose because of the material it's made out of, it's a different shape every time you take it out of the bag.
Yeah,
But
100%.
That almost dips in.
Yeah.
But if I can get a second-hand count, I'm getting one.
Yeah, I'm yeah. Sunday might be an expensive.
If I get
day
a count
for
for a
me.
fiver, I'm getting one.
Sunday, I love because we used to joke that the count was Skrillex, wasn't it?
Yes! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why I want it.
And that's why you want it,
That's
because
why I want it.
because that's what it was. Because at the beginning of our whole adventure into disc golf as well as podcasting, we made the joke it was Skrillex and it's whatever. But now we've understood it. It's kind of like other discs have changed a bit.
This is because I was ripping it off because in the box it says this is your
Big boy driver,
This
yeah.
is your big boy driver. So
Okay.
So I'm ripping the count off and it's speed 7.
Okay.
So
Because you're using a count as a scrambling disc. I'm using my old Destroyer, which is a
And the
speed
reason-
12
the
for
reason I
like a
want one is
utility
because
disc.
I've been throwing speed 7,
Yeah.
and I feel like because it's a different plastic to a lot of my. I've got different plastics at speed 7,
Yeah.
but that's a completely different plastic.
Yeah.
It's not something I have.
It's fun.
like rubber, isn't it? So
Yeah. It's rubbery.
yeah.
But no, I think it honestly comes down to what we were talking about as well with discs in our bag. I think it's down to your personal preference because, like, my putters, the Judge is beamed and heavy, and I like using that sometimes. But then I always go back to the Sensei
All my
because I'm
putters,
so
I've got
because they're all different. They feel different. I think it's what you feel comfortable with.
I've got a lot of different putters, and every single one is a different shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 100% true. Yeah, looking at
And I
your
use them all
putting
differently.
collection. Yeah, because you
I don't really use the dagger very often.
no, but what GT Sensei Premium.
Yeah.
Then you've got I would class Toro as a
Toro,
putter, but
'cause
you
that's-
don't really
I'd-
use that as a putter as much. Then you've got the
Longer
GT.
range, I do.
So yeah, you've got you're like the best way to describe it. You've got tons of wedges in your bag more than
Thinking about it, my four main putters, they're the ones I bring out, are all different shapes.
Yeah.
You've got the Baron, which is obviously a circle, but the edges are a bit more squared off. They're a bit more.
Yeah.
and it's a really rubbery disc.
Not my Baron.
Not Baron, that's Rich's one, isn't
Yeah,
it? His
my
is
Baron
rubbery.
is rock solid.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
But then we also have the Berg as well.
I like the idea of a rubbery Baron. To be fair, I've said this before.
Sunday's going to be fun when we go to Quarry Park.
Oh no, I know.
I know what I'm going in the store
And
for.
potentially expensive.
I don't know. I know exactly what I'm going in for. I'm going in for a Roadrunner because I need that disc as a utility disc. If a Raptor is there, that's fantastic because
Lee,
I.
I've seen you walk in that shop and go, I know exactly what I'm going in for. Can I
buy
have a
4
bag?
discs.
No,
Can I
I'm
have a
literally.
bag and 4 discs?
I am buying a Roadrunner, and if they've got a Raptor, I'm buying a
If
Raptor.
the weather is like it's been so far, then we're on.
Let's not kid anybody. If you walked in there and there was like an Optimus Prime disc golf bag,
Yeah, I'd probably buy it.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
wouldn't even question how much it costs. You just slam it on the till.
Yeah.
If they had a Goldberg with Goldberg on it, I'd buy it.
Exactly, if that had a sting with sting on it.
But that's the thing. It's if they've, because I've lost a few discs. I'm not joking. If they did have a mentor, I'd probably pick one up with them because I was throwing that really well until it vanished into a bush. Like
Really?
it just disappeared. The magician living up to his name over here.
I really want that to be a disc called The Worm.
Yes,
No, that's interesting.
that is.
That was interesting.
Turn it up!
Oh, love that. What a
So-
transition.
Yeah. So beginner tip.
Yes.
Let's move on to the beginner tip of the week. So be each other's cheerleaders.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm bringing this up, Lou. Right?
Yes.
So
I'm intrigued.
not last Sunday, Sunday before. So between the podcasts, you went out and had a lovely game with Richard,
I did.
and it was wet.
It was educationally wet. It was good. No, honestly, it was good because it was typical Midlands weather where it would piss it down and then it would stay a little bit. It would stop from going like rain to like mist to then rain again.
Richard got to experience what we were playing in for the first 6 months.
100%.
But you were saying that so Richard got his worst score yet.
Yeah.
Potentially, I've not gone back, but potentially the worst score ever had a lot of us.
No, I've had worse when I was early on.
All right.
But we all
So,
will
yeah.
because we're learning
I
how
had
to
worse.
throw stuff.
No, but I know I had worse early on.
But even like for now, if you walked
Yeah.
away with a plus 30
I'll be absolutely
something,
furious.
Oh, we would because where we were then and where we are now, we are peed if we have those kind of scores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he was telling me how like it was like he got to like hole 6 and it started to get worse, and then hole 7 made it a little bit worse, and then but he goes, you know what Lee was like? He was in my ear saying, "Don't worry, mate, you can turn it all around." And
100%.
And he goes, "No, I just wanted to turn it around to him and go, are you kidding me? There's no way I'm turning this around."
Oh,
But no, we was praising you because you're probably the most optimistic, positive one out of us. And
Yeah.
we all cheer each other on, and it's really good that we do because some of them people will be having rounds.
oh, we'll do. Yeah, we will.
I see Nev. And
I regularly just walk off screaming at myself.
Yeah, I see Ben and he's like ready to kick something down. And
Yeah.
I can see that look in his eye, and I just
Yeah,
go over and remind him of some of the good shots he's had today, and
Mhm.
like
100%.
forget about that stupid putt that you just missed. Like, yeah, it was only 5 foot, but you made them normally. You was
Yeah.
just rushing. Like, think
100%.
about your game. And it's just about being each other's cheerleader and actually like,
Yeah, I'm always like, whoa, when a good shot goes in.
yeah.
Like, you gotta be.
I do like the fact though, like we like kids at a firework display. When somebody throws a really good one, we're all like,
Way!
"Way!"
Like you just because there was a few drains you did because we could say last Sunday I think you had a frustrating round, but then there was some highlights in there where we were just like holy shit. And even you were saying like that needs to come out the bag more, like it needs to come out the bag more.
I hit some big putts and I hit some big rolls.
Yeah.
And that was my Sunday.
100%.
It wasn't a great round, but some of the things I did were cool.
Wasn't
you
a
can-
great Sunday, but it was my
My
Sunday.
Sunday.
Exactly. And honestly, I think that's the thing. I think when it comes to any sport, you always like you can either think of it in a positive way or a negative way. And I feel like sometimes, especially because we haven't really talked about it, but like the negativity you can have when your mind's setting in. So like Bedworth hole 8, we've now discussed this. Like when we go for a round, that hole for us as amateurs makes or breaks our round because if you go through the OB, so how it is, guys, is you have to drive it and you have to get it through the OB. If you go past that OB and you go miles wide, you just have to tee again and you have to like just reset,
You're
think.
probably looking at 40, 50 meters before you hit that Mando.
100%. And so you're like, right, I've got to do this. I've got to make sure. And sometimes that can make a break around. As soon as if you get it through first time, you're fine. If you don't, you're kind of like, this is going to be a big number. But at the end of the day, you just go like, right, what do I need to improve on that? And you just got to have that mentality to just go, leave it. So like for me personally, last Sunday, I can definitely say I left 4 putts where I was like, I left them short. I should have buried that. That's annoying. But at the same time, I know where I went wrong because I do the thing of if I miss it, I'm just going to walk back and obviously finish the hole, but then go back, take it, and then just make the adjustment and go like, that's what I needed to do. So now I know what I did wrong and just analysing those little things.
But that hole's like double shit in a minute, 'cause even if you make the Mando, the moment the disc goes through the Mando, your brain then goes, don't land in the wasp.
Do not land near the wasp nest because those wasps, have they stung all of us now? Because they've stung me.
They've not stung me.
They've stung half of our
You're
crew.
like,
Yeah, we throw it in and run in. And
you definitely try and get it. I haven't seen you throw it to that side of the trees in forever.
Yeah.
You're aiming for that other side.
Yeah, we just pray for cold weather because we know they're not going to come out. But if it's lovely, you can already tell when you get close to the basket, you're just like, yeah, there are loads out. Okay, I'm not going to miss from like 2 foot. I'm just going to go and run, grab my disc and pray to God I don't die because wasps are bastards. You know, idiots, wasps are. But no, yeah. No, be your biggest cheerleader because honestly, I think that also makes... I think because I can also say, I think all of us do practice and we do our own things as well. But we all generally get on and we want to have fun. Like we say we're not competitive or anything like that, but we all want us to succeed in this fun. Yeah, we will for some stuff. Like I would laugh and go like that was shit. Or like, literally laugh and go like, right, I'm well annoyed with that.
I think on Sunday there was like, I think both of you two had gone. Either you two had gone or you and one of you two and Richard had gone. 2 of you had gone. And I could literally turn around and went, I would have to throw it behind me to have a worse drive right.
Yeah, it was you and me. It was you and me because I literally, I missed the man who's so bad. That was the hole where we all threw.
We all threw. We all took the piss out of the person before we shot. We all threw.
Yeah, we all just laughed. Yeah. Even Richard. Because we all laughed and went like, it was not a great hole. Yeah.
No, I had a great hole 7.
It was hole 5.
Hole 7 to 8.
No, I thought it was 5. Because we all threw. You threw wide. I threw into the ground.
There was definitely hole 7 I'm thinking of. But
okay.
Hole 7 because I'm only right left of the bunker.
Oh, no.
There was a hole where we all threw.
Yeah.
There's plenty of holes.
Oh, 100%. But we all just laugh at it and go like, well, we can improve on that.
That actually leads a nice segue into our next topic.
Yes.
How do you like your courses?
I like them.
So, look, obviously, we mentioned earlier we're going to talk about course layout. So,
I'm just going to say it now. This is going to be another one of those episodes where I just bash Gillis for 45 minutes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you own Gillies or listen to our podcast, we actually really love your course.
I do actually like it.
We really like Gillies. It just frustrates us as amateurs.
But obviously, courses like Gillies are going to get mentioned because they're
very technical.
Yeah,
very good.
Very typical of what we will be talking about. But
100%.
Not so much what courses you like what courses we've been to. We've been there, we've done that. But more, you come across courses that are very tight, wooded, long holes like Gillies. You then come across the wooded, a bit more open, shorter holes, technical courses like Sherwood.
Yeah.
Where they wanted to bend it round little trees and things like that.
Yes.
You then come to courses that include trees and open spaces, like the one in Oxford with the donkeys.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And then you got courses like Bedworth where it's fairly open, but there are quite some big holes in there.
Yeah.
And then of course you've got your final type of course, your
fields.
Yeah, you're basically a basket in a field.
Yeah. Where it's really open. And then you want to go there on really windy days just to make it more challenging.
And then you got Quarry Park, which is
the best.
The best and has everything.
Which is a mix of them all.
And we're not even sponsored by them, but please go play at Quarry Park. It's a great course. It's lovely.
Yeah, best course.
Best course.
According to our rating system and our personal opinion.
100%.
So what kind of course, if you could build any course you wanted?
Quarry Park.
Quarry Park or Cotswolds, I probably would say.
So you would go for a mixture?
I would go for a mixture just because I think having a mix amount of holes, especially if you're starting out like us and you're amateurs, you want that diversity to improve your game and test your game. Because I feel if you build a course which is quite open, sure, it's going to be fun and you can understand, I'm going to learn discs and how far they can go and those kind of shots. But when you've got, like, say, your Quarry Parks and, your Gillies, for example, where you do have those courses where it's like, this is dead straight, but then it's going to go dog left. So if I throw it at this angle, I can go around this corner or go, like, through this, like, narrow gap. You want to try those shots because you want to know you can learn those shots and get that into your, like, repertoire.
My thought process on it all was, if you struggle playing courses like Gillies or the wooded holes,
yeah,
a mixed course or whatever, courses that are all wooded holes, you're gonna have a bad time. At least if you've got a mixed course, it gives the people that aren't great in the woods an opportunity to catch up on the people that are all right in the woods.
Yeah, 100%.
Makes it a more interesting game.
Yeah.
We all know you like to play good old, bad old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Gillies is 18 bad holes. So
It's just very challenging. It's a
it's
very
not
technical
the holes
course.
Are bad, it's me.
Yeah. Fair.
It's playing cricket.
It is.
Playing cricket. That's a great quote. That is a direct quote.
Oh, love
Gillies
that.
isn't disc golf, it's cricket.
Yeah.
I think I quite like Sherwood. If Sherwood was closer.
Oh yeah, Sherwood's different.
If Sherwood,
Sherwood
was
is very
closer,
different.
That would be my main course.
The main reason Sherwood is better than is different, not better than Gillies.
Sorry, I've just turned the lights on in this place. I should have said flashback, shouldn't I? Sorry, no. There we go. There we go. But I've readjusted you into the microphone by accident by blinding you. There you go. You're good.
If you miss, there's still a line.
Yeah, because the trees are a bit more spread out.
Yeah. Fair.
And I think that's why I like Sherwood, because like you say, it's not. It's still
and
tight.
Even if you miss, you can go. Oh, I can do that. At Gillies, this is the line. Throw the line, or get in the woods.
Or get in the woods. Yeah, go join the beavers.
Yeah. And
Get over here, the scorpion. More combat.
I can throw straight 60% of the time.
Yeah.
Do you think, though, as well, when you play at Gillies, then that might be a mindset where you're like, do not spam this into the tree, and then you go up to it, and then it goes, I've just said I wasn't going to do that, and then I do that. Because I do that sometimes at Bedworth as well. I'm like, I can't aim over there, and then I throw it, and I'm like, I aimed right over there.
I like.
Don't late release, and you do the latest release you've ever done.
like-
Yep, and you end up in someone's back garden.
At most courses, I can throw my go-to discs,
Okay.
and they do a little thing, and if they hit the ground, they roll back round, and I'm still in a good spot because that's my shot.
Okay.
At Gillies, you cannot do that.
No,
No.
you have
You
to.
can't.
It hits the ground and is in a tree, and that's that. It's in a bush and it's not moving, and there's no room for extra movement.
No, there isn't, no.
Yeah, you have to nail the line that they've said.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Apart from them 2 holes where you can go left or right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when that's the only time I throw straight at Gillies.
Is
When I've got
go
choice
left or
between
right?
Going left or right.
I'm
Throw
going
straight down the
straight.
middle.
Straight down the middle.
I'm going straight, and I'm fine with
I
this.
say that there are some holes at Gillies that really suit,
Your
my
style of playing.
archer
Yeah,
play.
100%.
and that's the ones that I've birdied at tournaments, and that hole that I'm thinking of specifically, I birdie most of the time.
I
Yeah.
also think because obviously we're going to hopefully enter the tournament September, is it? Regulars.
Yeah. We're going back for more punishment, boys.
When's
but,
that?
but I genuinely think if we can get around in prior to that,
Okay.
because I think we play Gillies wrong.
Okay.
I think that when we're playing Bedworth,
Mm-hmm.
we're used to playing more open courses.
Yeah.
We're used to ripping them off as hard as we can. When we see a line,
Yeah.
we go to make it all the way down to that basket. We need to rip this off.
Yeah.
Approach
Go that
with
way.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
and approach with this. But instead, if we're actually throwing our more straighter discs,
Yep.
even though they're not covering the
Amount.
80 meters that we'd cover, we'd still cover 60
Well,
meters. I still
Yeah,
I'd cover
and we're
60
still
meters with it.
still
Last
setting
time I went to
ourselves
Gillies,
up.
I had a better round. Well, earlier on I was better because I was like, if I just stay on the fairway,
Yeah.
then I'm good.
Yeah.
And that you got better at that later on because if I remember, your start of Gillies was dog.
No, I think the last time I went to Gillies, I just had an awful day.
Maybe.
That was the day I threw into the bush.
Was that the day of the stories on episode
I
10?
know my second
Yeah,
half
okay.
was bad,
Right.
but my first half was good because I was using the archer a lot and I was going, let's just land in that bit there and then take a second shot rather than being like, let's just smash it and see where it goes. So that's
Fair.
That's my Gillies attack plan. He says, no, full well he's probably going to just throw the leopard all day.
Yeah, but if you throw the leopard consistently well and also
Yeah, but
do
it's
the
not
good
the
stuff.
right course for that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what we do. I think we see a distance. We're picking the wrong disc for it, and I think next time we go Gillies, we need to.
And that's why we talked about it a little bit on like Sunday's round, where I was like, I threw that and I overthrew it, so I knew that is not the range I've got to be throwing that disc. I've got to be throwing this one. I've got to do that, and then it makes way heck more sense that I need to do that.
But going back to subject, I would have a mixed course. But
Okay.
I would have. The mix I would have is a Sherwood Point Pine style forest. I would never want to get as deep and as narrow as Gillies.
Okay.
And then a nice open, but with some technical shots. It's like some like dog legs, maybe a little water obstacle.
Cool.
Like the whatever the course was called, the massive one that took us all day to get around.
Oh yeah.
That was a great course. You put a bit more woody there.
Yeah, that would have been a really good
That
course.
could have been the one.
100%. And also,
And
just
some shorter walks between basket and tee pad.
that's the whole way you wish you just like, I wish I had a Segway or like a golf caddy, just to be like, not a golf caddy, like a buggy, just so you all sit in and be like, have fun.
3 days that way.
Yep.
To be fair, I don't think it was that bad. I think the heat made it.
I think the heat, the heat did kill us. I'm not gonna lie there. The heat definitely played a huge thing into that. But no, if I think we all are on the same kind of premise of having a mixed bag. Of course, I think that's pretty much what we want. I like it. Good unison talk, guys.
So disc of the week. You chose one yet?
That's a good question.
I've always chose one yet. I did, but I forgot.
Do you want me to go? Because I can. Right, cool.
I did choose one.
So I don't really have a disc of the week because I've gone back into our repertoire of what we've done, and there is one, but I took it out of my bag because I have the MD3, which has replaced my mid-range discs, and that was the Mako 3. I think the Mako 3 is a very good disc, but I think I even covered the Mako 3. I'm not even so sure. So yeah, I don't have a disc of the week. All I would say is, yeah, I need to buy more discs, but hopefully on Sunday I will buy a utility disc, which hopefully will be the Innova Roadrunner. So the guy sitting opposite me who's on the Innova bandwagon might be happy with that, but I know that's a good rolling disc, and also how it finishes, how I throw, it will be a good disc to add to my repertoire, which I'm very grateful for.
So if you're not going to have a disc of the week, I want to ask you about the premium disc you brought that you didn't like.
Oh, the Maestro.
The Maestro. So why did you buy a premium Maestro?
Because I was throwing the normal Maestro really good. It's a great mid-range.
I think the Sensei and the Maestro in premium, they're different shapes.
100%, and they fly different because when we did the plastics and I did my hilarious research, the premium plastics seem to be more. Is it overstable if it goes right?
I'm not sure.
So it tends to lean more one way than the actual normal plastic. Yes. So when I threw it, I was like, why the hell is it doing that all the time?
The plastic sits in the mold.
I'm telling you, if I get my two Senseis out on Sunday.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Because when I looked at it, because when I did the research, the first thing I said was like, so that's why I can't throw the Maestro, because my premium Maestro, that is, because it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's like you're throwing it exactly how you should throw it, but because of the plastic and how it is, it even says on the bloody website that it will do this more, and I'm like, oh, so that's ideal if I want those kind of shots, but the problem is,
I reckon
it's just a nice disc now for beginners. Yeah, probably. I need to just sit in front of a tree and throw it and beat it into submission. Bam, bam, bam.
Just throw it.
Just look like a madman throwing a disc.
Play it on Sunday.
No, I'll probably play it. I'm probably going to play it on Sunday on a certain hole anyway, so if I lose it, I don't mind it.
Oh, straight over the river.
Straight in the river. Sequel number 2. Let's see if I lose another disc. Groovy. But no, yeah.
It's probably never going to be disc of the week, so might as well ask you about it.
Yeah. No, but it's true. It's because everyone knows I'm on a Discmania bandwagon. I do love it. I love that starter set, and the Maestro is a very good one. I've already covered it, I think. So
yeah, you have. I think.
It is. It's just I think it's funny because it's like we're gonna get to a point where we're running out of discs, and I've hit that. I know you guys buy discs left, right, and centre. I'm kind of stopping because I'm losing discs and I need to repurchase discs. But then because of losing those discs, I'm relearning others. So for example, when I lost my PD, the poor Jolly Rancher, I've started to use the River more, and I need to learn how to throw that disc, and I can. But the thing is, which we talked a little bit on Sunday about, was it's a different throwing technique to everything else I throw, because it's kind of more like you were saying, down with tip of the whip and stuff like that. It's way more wrist reliant than my other discs, and it's just different. It's just a different beast.
Which I can jump on and do a nice segue into my disc of the week.
Sure, do.
So, like I said to you, when you come through the river, I told you that I throw the river different to most of my other discs.
Yeah.
There are the Saint, the River, the Diamond before I lost it, and my disc of the week.
Okay.
I throw with this style. So everything else I throw with a decent grip, and it's all in the body, and I think about my movement and everything.
Mm-hmm.
With the disc I just listed off, and my disc of the week, which is the Construct by Thought Space, I'm loosey goosey.
Yeah.
I'm a lot loose. I'm not as rigid in my throw, and it's all about getting that tip of the whip, getting that speed up, and nailing that tip.
Yeah, that works.
And it just glides, and let the glide do the work.
Yeah, it flies, that thing.
Someone with very high glide discs, I'm genuinely surprised that isn't your go-to move with all of them.
So the discs I listed off are the glide discs.
You've got loads of glide discs though.
Yeah, this is Glidey McGlide Boy over here, though.
Not really.
He's the glide guy.
The River, the
Yeah.
Saint, the Construct.
Yeah.
Your Sting. No, your Sting's
Sting,
not.
yeah.
Sting's
Surely
not that
anything
glide.
over glide 4's high though.
Maybe.
I'd say 6, 7's high. 4, 5's about average.
Yeah, most of your mid ranges are 4-5, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, you get some putters that are glide 4.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree to disagree.
But yeah, so the Construct is absolutely brilliant. It's a 10-6 minus 1-2, I believe. I'm just going to double check that.
I do like it.
Yeah, 10-6 minus 1-2. Banging artwork. So play.
It's Thought Space, dude.
Yeah.
Thought Space have come out of nowhere and like
Question.
they're sick
I like
artwork.
this, and I'm going to see if you know. What what company's plastic do Thought Space use?
No idea.
MVP.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's interesting because of the whole internet saying MVP plastic is either good or bad. That's really interesting.
Well, I
Told you
really
I'd
like
like
it.
this recently.
I told you this.
Well, I really like it. I like the feel. I like the plastic.
Sick.
It flies like the river, but with a bit more oomph.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic disc. I brought it because of the artwork. So I needed
Love that.
I needed a Speed 10 disc.
But also artwork.
Yeah.
We're suckers for
and then
artwork.
looking at all the Speed 10 discs, and that's one that popped out to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't look at any
You
reviews.
started off borrowing my Avenger for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, to make sure that Speed 10 was where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I was throwing Speed 9 nice. As I said, 11 was hurting my
And you
shoulder.
sort of went
So
into
my
the
brain
Avenger
went-
for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so logic went, throw a Speed 10.
Mm.
You had the Avenger. And I was like, okay, let's throw the Avenger. New Speed 10 was right for me. Was actually going to buy an Avenger. But,
Yeah, you were.
but
Was that a normal Avenger or Avenger SS?
I was going to buy the SS.
All the
I've
S's.
got an SS.
You've got the SS.
Yeah, you got the SS.
So I was
Okay.
going to get the SS as well. And when I just put in all the Speed 10 discs, that popped at me for the artwork. And I said, no reviews, no lines, no nothing. I just went, do you know what? I'm going to give it a go.
Fair.
And
It's the best way.
Best thing I did, and I've seen more Thought Space discs in my future.
Yeah, Thought Space are really good. Like the Pathfinder, I'm telling you now, boys, that's a disc. That's up there with like the buzz on the internet as well. They've saying Pathfinder's really cool. And again, suckers for artwork, really good. The Buddha as well. Their Buddha.
That Buddha thing is
It
If
looks
Dad got one in Quarry
sick.
Park, Leanne might divorce me because she might just go, I can't live with a man that spends that much money on plastic.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Go on then, Ben. What is
What is
your
yours
disc of the
now
week?
then, sir?
I'm
mate?
gonna say the Genius.
Ooh, okay.
So me and the Genius have got an interesting.
On-off relationship, ain't it?
Yeah, you had a Genius quite early on, didn't you?
Yeah, and then it got mangled basically.
Yeah.
And I just never throw it. But when I do throw it, it's quite good.
Yeah.
It's in that. I always forget it's in that Speed 7 range.
Yeah.
Quite a straight finisher.
I always thought it was slower. I thought it was like 5.
No, it's
Yeah,
it's up
sweet.
there with a few of the other Discmanias,
It's
big boys.
Numbers wise, if I'm correct, it's like a Speed 7 Archer.
Okay.
Mm.
It's quite that. It's not that hard plastic like the Baron is, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you feel like you can throw it against a rock and the rock will cry.
Yes, it's normal plastic, isn't
Yeah.
it, for the Genius?
I'm gonna throw it this weekend,
Nice.
and if I lose it, that's that.
Yeah.
But if I get on with it, I might get
Fair.
A newer one that isn't tuned.
Yeah, because it is good, and the artwork again is
Would
sick.
you stick to basic?
No, I'd get a premium one.
So then remember, they all seem to turn one different way to what you do.
Yeah, but
That's the god honest truth on the
basic
internet, and what
plastic is a bit-
Discmania have also said as well at the same time.
the basic plastic. Say that I won't buy something that's probably not on another disc. So
Fair. But then again, it's like, I'm not going to complain because it's a Discmania disc, and I've liked the Genius when I've thrown it, and I've kind of like, it seemed to me it was more of a beefier Magician. But then, obviously, I have the FD now, so that's my 7-speed.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with the FD.
I've got all 7 speeds.
The River's 7 as well.
And yeah, so 7 is a very...
7.
I feel like between, I think, 5 and 7 is highly congested with really good
So the
discs.
Sting's a 7 and River's a 7. The Sting is the 7 that I throw for approach.
Yeah.
I never throw the River approach.
No, you normally use it for a
Drive,
drive.
shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I really think, because it seems really highly congested between 5 and 8. I'm going to throw 8 now there, because I think 5 and 8, there's a lot of good discs, and that's like, that's where people's bags can differ.
I'm breaking out the ace for this weekend.
Yeah. You're going for it, hey?
It's at Archer Range. That short.
We are
course is
filming,
Archer
so
Range.
if it comes on, yeah,
That
boy.
short course is Archer
Sweet.
Range. I've got to break it out.
That are we gonna? So my question is, when it comes to digression again, when it comes to filming, are we gonna do the small course for 2 videos? Are we gonna do the normal how we would play it? So we have like a pro thing, and then we're gonna do the best thing ever of 4-play. Or do you want to do the main course for the main thing and then 4-play on the smaller hole?
I'd film both on the small course.
You
Okay.
could say
Fair.
The extra games on the small course.
Yeah, 100%.
4 playing on the small course, but actually the main thing, and we're doing
On the big one?
on the big one.
Okay.
Game match play.
Yeah, could do.
Because then
It's just
we
breaking
have
it.
the hilarious.
Yeah.
We're going to be there all day,
'Cause
though.
I wanna
I'm off
play
all day.
short course full bag.
Yeah.
I want to do a 3 round. I want to do short course 3 rounds. But anyway, we digress.
Digression.
Which is also available.
All available soon. I don't know how beast, because there's a lot of editing on that, boys. I'm just going to let you know now, because I said I'm putting it on YouTube, and because of the topics we're talking about, the extended video research I've had to do to find it's beasty, but it's awesome.
This is our other podcast where we're talking about
Digression,
everything and
session.
everything.
Where I tell everyone how illegal Shadow was.
Yeah. So the first episode is Gladiators. Look for that in the not too distant future. Obviously, if it's out, you can go download it if you're listening to this in the not too distant future or whatever. So yeah.
And our
Fun
next
times.
episode is 90s Kids TV, which I cannot wait for.
Absolutely
You don't
insane.
know
Some
how
of
much Funhouse I've been watching.
I've watched some insane shows where I've like, I used to watch this as a kid. What was I doing?
Need to watch Funhouse.
Oh.
But anyway, digression. So,
Yes. Fun. Stupid run.
so
Yes.
question.
Okay.
What would you say the most beneficial thing you have done that's improved your game?
I know.
Okay, you take it then, Ben. You go first.
Taking discs out of my bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smaller bag.
So I know because we spoke about it a lot on the phone, and Lee knows because you spoke about it when playing disc golf, but the audience don't know the reasoning why and how you invented like yourself a little game, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, this all started because what I did was I'd put all my discs on the floor, and then I'd just randomly pick up 5, and I'd play with those 5.
You got the missus to pick your 5 one week.
Yeah,
as
that
well. That was a fun week.
It's like a mini game.
That was a rough round.
A mini game within a mini game.
But then the next week, I wouldn't. Those 5 would be out.
So you could just basically concentrate on something else.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I learned some shit. And I took some discs out of my bag.
Yeah.
I'm slowly bringing them back in, but
Also, when you did that, you
I
put some discs
set
back
my-
in your bag that you
I
weren't
s-
playing with
I
for a
set my
while.
best round. My best score currently was set with 5 discs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played that and I just was just like wallop, just smashing it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Just had a really good round. Less options is definitely a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're going to buy loads of discs, because you will,
You
buy
will.
'em,
But
learn them.
yeah,
Learn
learning.
them in small groups.
Fair point. Fair point. I do like that. I think for me, it's kind of just like the best way of describing it is just slowing stuff down and not advancing too fast has improved my game. Like recently, I went through a phase of having really drives. And what I was doing was I was trying to do too much, where I'm just like, I'm just going to launch this. And then I've like gone back to the basics of slowing stuff down, going back to what I should know, trying to get more practice in during the week, and just kind of getting into the repetition of like, I know how far this goes.
See,
kind of like what you say, learning your discs.
You've slowed your technique down.
Yes.
And I've slowed my discs down.
Yes. Because I feel like when you're watching, again, the dreaded gap of YouTube and other stuff like that, you can Frankenstein and put your throw together. But then when you're trying to do it, which is true with golf, disc golf, like if you break it down, there's about 8 to 10 things you do supposedly when you do it. I think when sometimes if you're not practicing certain bits enough to get like little bits right, and you just go, yeah, I think I've got that, so I'm just going to go on to the next phase. Oh, I think I've got that, and I'm going to add that, and then it just goes completely wrong from there.
I thought my drives were crap, I slowed my disc down.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe think about it.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like
just try some slower speed discs for a bit.
100% true. Like I'm scared to throw the Rockstar at Quarry Park because I don't want to lose it, because that's come up clutch very good. It's an 8 and it's very comfortable. And I was throwing the PD really well. I have got a 7, the FD. Do like the FD
7, 8.
and then the CAX. I like it because don't get me wrong, I do enjoy throwing my DD3s and I do enjoy my destroyers, but I do feel like sometimes it's like if I just slow it down, and if I'm like just play what you know and you can throw consistently. And then you slowly increase your speed, if you will, and know when to cap off.
I've got a Hades. I've threw it 4 times.
Yeah.
And I'm probably never going to throw it.
Yeah. I think that's honestly it.
It's a cool disc.
It's a cool disc.
It's cool.
Maybe into it again like a utility disc. So that's why I've got 2 destroyers. I have one which I bought because it looked like Optimus Prime. That's now my utility disc. And I bought another one because I was like, that's a mech. And I'm a sucker for mechs. So I'm in. And so that's now my normal one. And it's a bit more gummier than the other one. So...
But yeah, so what you're just saying, so when I was thinking about what was the most beneficial thing that I've introduced to my game,
yeah,
that was that's the first thing my mind jumped to. But then I broke it down just a little bit more, and one of the things that I was doing was worrying about my run up.
Okay.
There was obviously this period where I tried to introduce the cross step and
fell over.
Yeah, just I fell over and
just didn't work for you.
Just didn't
spooned it.
Yeah, it's not for me. Then there was a point when I was trying to like run and get as much twist as I could, like a reverse free kick, if you like.
Okay.
And just like trying other stuff to try and get that hip rotation.
Yeah.
And then when we played in one of the tournaments, wasn't the Bristol one? It was the one before. And
the Quarry.
No, the first tournament was Gillies.
Oh, it was Gillies, yeah.
Oh, no,
Gilly.
no, the one after the Bristol tournament, sorry. The one at the Cotswolds. So one of the lads I played with there...
Oh, yeah, you played
okay.
that as well.
Yeah, you played that, yeah.
One of the lads I played with there kind of like ran up the tee, and the only way I can describe it is like he was ice skating.
Okay.
He's taking massive strides to the left, to the right, throwing his body out, and on that last one, he was in that like great position to throw it out.
Like a hockey player.
Yeah. So...
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, you generate power like, yeah.
So when I saw that, my brain didn't go, let's give that a try. My brain went, do you know what? If he's not learning a cross step and he's learned something that's good for him,
100%.
Then me running diagonally across the tee-pad and taking them 2 big, massive, in my head I call them the BFG strides.
Yeah.
They probably don't look like it because I'm only 5'8" and...
Yeah, I know exactly what we
me,
mean though.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'm taking 2 massive BFG strides and then launching it off. And
yeah.
That's what I'm comfortable doing. And ever since I started doing that and stopped worrying about my run up, and not actually, I call it a run up. I don't do a run up anymore. I do 2 big, quick strides.
Do the cha-cha slide.
Do the cha-cha. It's a little. It's like a little. It's like a hop. It's like a not a hop step, but it's kind of like a shuffle almost. I've really noticed you do it. Like what's his face does it? My favorite pro, Kevin. What's his name? Got the MVP player, Kevin. It's going to annoy me now. I forget his name. He does what you do, and I was like, I like that, and I tried it, and I was like, yeah, it throws me off because I'm so used to having a cross step and generating. Because basically, I went from like looking at mine, going like the cross step, but I'm also in that position where I'm like, this is how I would do a golf swing and generate power through my hips. Yeah.
And I think in the moment as I'm saying, the moment that I kind of went, this is how I'm comfortable playing.
Yeah. I think it's just the little things, because I think over time as well, you will always adapt your game and change things. And it's exactly like in any sport, whether it become football with football boots, whether it become golf with golf clubs, anything like that, you're always going to change and adapt.
We pointed out the other day that Bedworth is actually a hard course to
It
play.
is.
And there's no hole on there now that I've not parred.
Mm-hmm.
There was a long time when 1 and 2 were just unparable.
Yeah.
If you walked away with a 4, you'd be happy.
Now
we can't par. Yeah.
At some point, I've parred every
We've
hole.
all parred every hole, I think.
On an average Sunday, we
Par a few.
We par a few. We don't.
Bogey a few.
And then the next Sunday, we par a different few.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So if I know I'm capable of parring all of them holes, my brain kind of tells me, why change anything in your game now? This is how you're comfortable playing.
100%.
You've now just got to get consistent.
That's it. And I think that's it with any sport. You have to have that consistency. I think that's when you then go, I need to make time for practicing. I need to make time for these little things so I can improve. Because obviously it's like, if you don't practice and you just go and throw it every Sunday or whatever, you're probably not to be too brutal. You might have the same kind of score. You might do worse. It's that getting that repetition in and knowing your arm throw, because as soon as you get that down, it's solid. Because let's be honest, how you practice free kicks in football, if you get that repetition, you're always going to do that. You're always going to do that. When it comes to golf, when it comes to anything like sports related, if you get into a rhythm and a technique that works for you, it just becomes solid.
I've had a bit of a dip in that.
But honestly, that's all it is. And I think obviously with us, it's we're obviously blessed with all sorts of weather in the Midlands, but obviously life finds a way to just distort our kind of like free time, because your free time you either want to spend playing video games, spending it with the missus, or just relaxing or hanging out with friends, etc. It's just sometimes you just have to go, I'm going to go out for like an hour and I'm going to take these couple of discs out. I'm going to go to a park and I'm going to go, right, that's where the basket is. I'm going to try and get it as close to that. Or take your basket out.
Disc in a random field.
Yeah.
Throw my count in a cow.
Or lose a count in a cow field. Yeah.
If we were coaching people, I think all three of us would have different priorities.
100%.
All goes wrong, just throw a roller.
I think you'd
Roll
be.
the boy.
What's the guy's name from Happy Gilmore, the coach?
Chubbs.
Chubbs. I think you'd be Chubbs, just like standing there.
All in the hips.
Hey, it's all in. Come on, work with me now. It's all in the hips. Yeah, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. Get off of me! Hey, just easing the tension, baby.
It's
all
true.
in the hips. And I would have people that's running around towel whipping people.
Yeah. That's the wrist action you've got to have. You've got to generate power, because the forward momentum in this, and it's science. Everything is a science.
Until you can whip that apple off your mate's head.
Yeah.
Not going home.
And not make him blind or like leave scars on his forehead. Yeah.
Rollers.
Yeah. Well, I think that's honestly it. That's literally everything. There's certain things we all want to learn. Like I said, I would love to take a few pro classes of how to understand how to throw a forehand. I would love to understand that.
And Richard would be the man. Richard knows what he's doing with a forehand.
And it's so different to what I'm used to, because his approach and run up, I'm like, okay, I'll try that. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's mad. I don't know how. I don't know how he does it. It's amazing, honestly.
Sunday highlight as roller coach for me, definitely. Ben, which angle do I need to throw this to make it do that?
This way.
Do you know what
And
else?
it worked.
It did work.
I'm about to digress, but I'm not going to. I'll digress outside of the cast.
Joining the roller crew.
I love that. Everyone's becoming a roller crew. Right.
Yeah, because I've got no before we go this week.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think of
Oh.
one. I've just literally looked at my notes and it says before we go.
Before we go,
Throw
we've
some discs.
first of this. I think we've kind of like covered most of the basics of like what amateurs go through. I honestly do think it is try and get some practice in. I think practice, to quote Allen Iverson, we're talking about practice. I think that's, you got to get that repetition in, and you've just got to understand, because I think obviously you're throwing. I think the one thing I always laugh when it comes to discs as well, when I throw something I then slow it down and then I throw the next throw is really good. I'm just like, oh, that worked really well, because funny enough, discs want to fly. Like they are designed to go.
Because you just said that we spoke about everything amateur, like covered all amateur disc golf.
I think
we haven't, Lee, because otherwise we'd be out of a podcast.
That's true, actually.
Oh
no, I think about the things.
We've got about 50 more episodes.
True. We've got
of
loads
stuff to cover.
We've got so much to cover.
A lot of little parts of it.
Little parts. And starting as so little parts. I think as an amateur.
Quite a few little things.
It's true. But I think when it's looking at, like, if you're going back to basics, I think we've covered a few big ones. I think, personally, if you're learning or starting off.
Oh,
I think.
Definitely.
100%.
Just go and play different courses.
Yeah.
And learn what you like.
Exactly.
And learn what makes you rage. Like Gillies.
Become one. Like Gillies. Just become one. Yeah. I think that's honestly it, mate.
Yeah.
That was nice. It was a very, very solid podcast. We digressed a little bit, which we always do, which we love, so...
At least we stick with disc golf.
It's true.
It could be much worse.
It could be much
And I got to
worse.
put Scotty Too Hotty in there.
You did. You did. We have. Yeah, you've been throwing that banger pretty solid this last Sunday. It's pretty solid. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like. A like is much appreciated. If you want, also feel to subscribe to our Disc Heads podcast. We got, like, we've digressed a little bit on this. We've got more content coming. We're going to be filming a few things hopefully this weekend, weather permitting.
And send us comments. We get like 100 views on some of these.
Yeah.
Podcasts and we get no comments.
Please leave comments.
Either we're really amazing or we're so people can't even be bothered to tell us.
Oh, they just go like, I love listening to these random guys talk on the internet. Just living la vida loca, having fun, talking about plastics and throwing discs at trees.
Scotty Too Hotty.
And Scotty Too Hotty facts. But no, yeah, thank you if you're listening to Podbean. Thanks for subscribing, all that jazz. We'll be back in not too distant future with episode 13, unlucky for some. But this has been Parklife, and we talked a little bit about parks, which is pretty solid. All right, take it easy, guys, and we'll see you in the not too distant future for episode 13.